Hey everyone, it's Miles here, strategic business coach and founder of Miles More Customers, helping small businesses get more customers and keep more customers. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 very common sense, but not necessarily common practice ways that you can incentivize your team, your employees in the business, without paying them more money. Look, here's a key thing I've learned from being an employee and being an employer. Is that what motivates us as human beings isn't effectively money. Because at one time, historically, years and years ago, people were working really hard without getting paid the kind of money that they may be getting paid now. So the point of this video is for you to know that what incentivizes one person may be motivated by money, another person may be motivated by something completely different. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can incentivize your team without paying them more money. So the first one, let's get into it. The first one is what we call scorecards. What this means is what gets measured gets done. So if you measure a person's progress, especially if they get to choose how to measure their progress, you're going to see them become more motivated. Because as motivational speaker Tony Robbins says, we all have 6 human needs, and one of our needs is growth. So what this means is, if you imagine a person who's in the gym, goes to the gym weeks and weeks and weeks, sees or feels no results, but then they get on the scales and it shows them that they've lost 6 pounds. All of a sudden they're going to feel a lot better. Well, what is the difference between how they felt before getting on the scales to how they feel after it? The difference is they've now seen a measure of success. So the minute you introduce a scorecard for your employees, you allow them to see their own progress in real time, like a person who's in the gym who wants to maybe lose weight or whatever. So scorecards are really important. Highly recommend that if you're going to introduce scorecards, that you allow your employees to decide what they feel should be the scorecards, and then you adjust accordingly. Number 2, training. Training and retraining is so important. Here's a key thing that maybe gets overlooked, is that the more you train, the more you improve. Jim Rohn says the more you learn, the more you will earn. And as the business leader, it probably is quite normal to you to read books, go to seminars and retrain yourself. The reason why you're the business owner is probably because you constantly improved and developed yourself to the point where you're able to run your own business. People that are in your business, your employees, maybe don't currently have that type of mindset. So give them that type of mindset. Pay for them to go on training. Pay for them to go on things that will grow and improve them, because the more they grow, the more they're going to provide you with a return on investment in your business. Number 3, feedback. You want to give them feedback, and you also want to give them the ability to give you feedback. One of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of business leaders make is they will give employees feedback on their performance, but they won't 360 that feedback. One thing that I've seen that is the differentiator really between a great leader and a not very good leader is a great leader is very self-aware, and they realize that they have blind spots and weaknesses themselves, and so they give their team the ability to tell them, hey, can you let me know if there's anything that I'm currently doing or not doing for you as a leader that would help you in your job, that would help you in your role. And basically the leaders that are failing their employees kind of feel like, oh, well, I'm so high up now, they wouldn't be able to give me appropriate feedback. Actually, you can't see the big picture in the frame. That's what Les Brown says. So I highly recommend that you not only give your employees feedback, but you give them the ability to give you feedback as well. Number 4, incentives. Here's the key one. Several years ago, I worked for a business who we travelled internationally, got to go on some very glamorous end-of-year parties, Hawaii, the Bahamas, to name just a few places. Incredible experiences. Worked for that company for 8 years, but the thing that actually kept me there so long was not that. Every Friday when I was running the office, for a couple of years I ran the office, my boss, good man Dave Wright, would buy us, if we'd had a really good week in sales, Nando's. Where we would go into his office on a Friday, review the week, and get grease all over his boardroom desk. And after 8 years of working for that organisation, I recently met Dave for coffee. I'll still say to this day that, hand on heart, I remember Nando's Fridays and look forward to them more than I look forward to those big grand end-of-year parties, because I knew that Dave was physically putting his hand in his pocket to buy us a Nando's, and actually that made me feel really appreciated, like our efforts have been rewarded. What did it cost Dave? 20, 30 quid. What did it do for us? It made us feel 10 feet tall because it made us anchored to the fact that if we produce and perform every Friday, there's a potential, not every Friday, it didn't happen every Friday, but there's a potential likelihood that we're going to get together as a team and have a Nando's. So it's amazing how when you really understand your team, you can understand what incentivizes them. So if your team are vegans and they don't eat Nando's, that might not be the right incentive. But the point I'm getting at here is when you know the right incentives for your team and you do it, what you'll realize is you don't need to spend a lot of money. I know a lot of clients of mine now that will buy vouchers. A client of mine recently bought a weekend for two for Paris for his general manager because she'd overperformed on a target. He also bought a cleaner something, like a bouquet of flowers recently because she cleans the gym, but he'd noticed and he rewarded her. And as a result, you know, she's on top, she's telling all her friends about this boss who bought her flowers. So it's amazing when you incentivize in the right way. And the last thing, which is so common sense but not common practice, is show that you care. What does this mean? Well, effectively what it means is if people do well, tell them they've done well. If people haven't done well, don't tell them they've not done well unless you're going to first show them a way to improve on what they've currently done. When you show that you care about people, like you're not just interested in them as an employee, you see them as a person, not only will that improve sales, that will improve the retention of your customers, but that will send your employee productivity through the roof. Your turnover, your employee turnover will come down, which means you've got to do less retraining, less rehiring. So when you show that you care about a person and treat your team, treat your employees basically almost as well as you would treat members of your family, all of a sudden they're going to be more motivated to stick around and perform above the call of duty for you and your business, which means you're going to be more profitable on an ongoing basis. So again, hope you found this video useful. If you have, as always, please feel free to share it around the business, around the team, anyone in your network that you say, you know, I think this would be really useful for you, watch this as well. If you want to know more about the kind of trainings and workshops that I do, then you can drop me an email, miles@milesmorecustomers.com. I'd love to speak to you. Take care for now. Have a great day. Goodbye.